Good morning. I'm Lori Stone. I'm the state representative for the 28th House District, which includes Warren and Centerline. And I'm here today, June 4th, from the Independence Festival. It is a beautiful day to be out here. We're here in the midst of the classic car show, the Carnival Freeway. There's a run going on, there's a pancake breakfast, and so much to do today. The weather is absolute perfection, and glad to be here enjoying it all.
My name's Mark Jozwiak. Let me spell it.
Please.
Jozwiak.
Good.
And describe this or just introduce?
Well, run for the kids.
This is my grandson, David Houghton. This is my wife, Tracy Jozwiak, and my granddaughter, Emberlyn Anker.
Hi, little one.
And this is our 1965 GMC pickup.
Well, it sure is a good looker. Have you done anything special to it, or just made it look really nice?
Took the original motor out and put a 402 big block. The transmission's been changed, the driveline. Body's pretty much what it was when in 65, but that was kind of just new paint. Other than that, nothing real fancy.
This, but to me and a lot of other people, when you say pickup truck, this is pretty much what they picture in their head.
We used it for the shop truck. I'm a retired tool maker, and when we first started our shop, this was one of the shop trucks. And people just go, "You're crazy." I'm like, "Well, no, it works. That's what it was for."
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I hauled engines, transmissions, junk parts.
Yeah,
yeah, until I retired in 09, and now I kind of just do car shows and cruises. And,
well, you're one of the ones I like, because I try to do as many as I can get to.
Yeah.
This is one of the better ones, by far.
Yeah, we've done it every year that they had it from the first year.
That's funny, because I've been here 3 or 4 years now, and I don't remember running into you before.
Yeah, see, even the trucks on the website, when you see the picture,
You see the picture of the car show.
it's parked there.
I'm sorry, because I would have noticed this before.
Well, there was two the first year. Another guy had a 64, but a little different shade of blue.
Yeah.
And then we had ours at the other end. But yeah.
Yeah, well, the first year I was here, they were all down by ABC. By Lawrence Street?
We didn't do those ones.
Oh, no, we didn't do that one. No, we didn't do that one. We did it when it came here 3 years ago.
I've been doing it longer than I thought.
Hey, I've been doing car shows since 78-ish, when I was not even out of high school yet. So yeah, we've been doing car shows a long time.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm old enough to have done Woodward when it was really Woodward. Back when.
Yeah, I got the tail end years of that. I was 14, and there was very little bit of street racing, but we did a lot of street racing out on French Road, Airport Road.
I've never been down there, but over the years, a lot of my buddies, because I worked on
that was kind of the last hoorah for street racing.
Well, there was a little bit went on Telegraph of all places toward the end, but that was a lot of that was kind of private stuff.
Right.
So, well, you know what? Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
About your car. Okay, we're here again today. Just happened to come one of my little pet cars here. I always love Jaguars. So, would you please introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about the car.
My name's Emmanuel Buckley, and this car right here is a 1972 Jaguar XJ6. It's a little bit modified. Has a Chevy 406 in it. Turbo 350 transmission. The rear end and all that is still stock, but it's a fun car to have. It's a fun car to drive.
Well, I'll bet
It's quick. It's fast. I really enjoy this car.
That's one of the things. I don't know if you're aware, because we haven't talked much, but swap to a Chevy was a very, very common thing. One time you could go like on what was the W website? There was a website that used to send out catalogs.
Yeah.
And you could just order the kit with all the parts in it.
Yep, Chevy or Ford.
Yeah. And everybody I know that I've talked to that made that swap has been very, very happy with the result.
Yes, it's something. To me, it's not nothing but a Corvette. Because if you look, the rear end, the suspension, and all that is just like the independent suspension that's in a Corvette. So that's one of the things that turned me on to this car. And when I first seen this car, I had to have it because I never seen one before. We used to call it the 007.
Yeah.
That's about it in a whole nutshell. see me coming down the street in it, just know
Well,
it's built.
okay. Well, we start out. Please tell me your name and then spell the last name so we get it right.
Okay. My name is Greg Jacob, Jacob, and I'm from Centerline. I live in Warren now. And I bought this car in '76, had 3,500 miles on it, and right now it's got 29,000.
You,
It's all original.
you probably didn't even spend that much on it, did
No,
you?
and it's all original except for headers and a Camaro steering wheel.
Well, I was pretty impressed when I saw the engine in there.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they were there, but there weren't that many of them made.
No.
And the hatchback is kind of odd, too, kind of rare.
Yeah, you don't see too many of them. That's why I kind of keep it, because you don't see them.
I can't say as I blame you. Everybody wants to have something a little off.
Yeah.
Different.
And it was, I can't really document it, but it was a test car from Chevy Engineering. And it's got
Really?
a Corvette 350 in it.
That's funny because a lot of times they don't title those cars.
And yeah, they crush them.
Yeah?
Somehow this one got out, which shouldn't have gotten out, but it did.
There was a case like 199 or something old early 50s T-Birds were crushed.
Yeah.
And I followed it very closely. Not as closely as some people, but try to let this guy go by. I'm not going to complain about the sound because I miss it.
Yeah, it's got 29,000 miles on it. I've had it since '76.
It's in phenomenal condition.
I don't drive it. I'm right now afraid to drive it.
Well, yeah. First, you don't drive it to keep it good, and after a while, it's do I dare? Oh, I know,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it's got the original top and bottom radiator hoses. Original wiper blades
really?
are still on it.
Wow, now that's
Original power steering belt. And
you
then
definitely don't drive. Do you do any treatment to the rubber to keep it lively?
just the armor all. They're still pliable, so I ain't gonna worry about it right now.
Well, if you
And
park it at home every night, you'll see the leak underneath there if something breaks.
yeah,
But
it does leak a little bit here and there, but for this old car, what do you expect?
well, see, I've always loved these. These were the old Nova, Chevy 2, whatever you want to call them. They're a very, very popular car for racers, for just for your first car, because they were, at the time they were very economical.
Yeah.
And they're just a nice size car.
Oh yeah.
You know, nowadays it's full size, but back then it was a compact.
Yeah. And it's got factory 4-speed, which you don't see too many Novas.
Hardly at all, yeah.
Not 74s, and you don't see too many 73, 74s around anyways, especially with the hatchback.
yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's been my little toy.
Well, everybody's got to have one.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
At least you. No, I got to be careful what I say sometimes. But I don't know. I have to stop at certain cars just because, for one thing, this looks so nice. But also because, fortunately, you live right in the area, so you can enjoy this. We're having a beautiful day, and I had a '72, loved it.
Yeah, I do. I love this thing too, and I've had it up to 130.
And anyhow, I saw this. I said, you know what? We've got to talk about this car right here. So lay it out for us, please.
Yeah, this is my daily driver. I drive it everywhere. And it's got the 3.6 liter V6, Chrysler's most reliable engine to date. The record is 650,000 miles in a Dodge Dakota with no rebuilds.
But you know, I know a couple of guys that had the old K cars.
Yeah.
And as long as they put a new head gasket in about every 80,000 miles, I knew one guy was at 280,000 miles, but every 60 to 80,000 he'd spend the money to put a new head gasket in, and it was still running last time I saw him.
This was with no maintenance, just oil changes.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. But that's years ago I read a statistic when I was in the service about whether you should change oil or just top it off.
Yeah.
In the Army back in the 50s, but then that's different technology. But back in the 50s, they found that if you changed the filter and just topped up the oil, they never changed the oil.
Interesting fact
Weird.
about that is they used to use toilet paper as oil filters.
Yes. You used to be able to buy the cartridge and slip it in there.
If you change it twice, you can clean your oil and not have to change it at all to go back to brand new.
Oh, see, I'd never heard that, but You know, there's so much technology that I've heard of that nobody remembers, nobody talks about. Back when they first started getting into all the pollution controls our cars,
Yeah.
there's a guy in Detroit that invented a cartridge muffler that about every I don't know how many often, but every so often you have to come in, you'd actually unscrew it, pull the filter out, put a new filter in, and it met all the pollution requirements.
Yeah.
But it wasn't invented by one of the big three, so it never caught on.
And you know the funny thing about it is most of these technologies that they're talking about today were invented as far back as 200 years ago.
Yes. One of the very first cars I ever worked on was a 1928 Graham Page.
Yeah.
I was in the service. Anyway, I got to working on it. You could do everything with that car mechanically that you do now electronically, and
Yeah.
it didn't cost $2,000 for a chip.
Yeah.
It had all. It was so funny because in the center of the steering wheel, you could adjust the timing, you could adjust the carburetor. There was a third thing in there, and then on the side, you had some more adjustment. But you could do everything.
Speaking of that technology, this engine has that technology and it does it on the fly.
Really?
That's what variable valve timing is.
Right.
Yeah, it changes it on the fly as you're driving.
And another thing gets me, I have not heard of anybody having trouble with that.
No.
Because sometimes they bring a new technology in, and the next thing you know, every car they made was recalled for 5 years.
Yeah.
But these seem to hold up really well.
Oh yeah.
Plus, in all honesty, it's pretty. It's just
And,
a good-looking car.
The base model V8 only has 20 more horsepower than this.
That's another funny thing. A few years back, the V6 from Chevy had the same horsepower as the V8, but it weighed like 80 or 90 pounds less. A lot of the Camaros were ordering specifically the V6 because with the lighter weight, it was actually a faster car.
Yeah, when they designed this car, they actually took the 1970 model out of the museum and brought it to the engineering department in Auburn Hills.
Tell you a little secret most people don't know about? That's what they did with the Fiero. When they were designing the Fiero in Pontiac, I was in there one day, I was a vendor, outside vendor. I look over, there's a couple of what they call a Fiat X19,
Yeah.
which was a terrible car. It rusted terribly. But when you put one next to the other, they're almost the same car.
Oh yeah.
So, anyway, I want to thank you. Nice seeing you again.
Thank you.
Hopefully you see you again next year. Do you go to any of the other shows?
Yeah, I go to them all.
Okay, well then we'll see. Because
All right.
I'll be hitting some of the other ones this year, just like everybody else. I'm getting out of my shell, getting out of my cave, and having a little fun.
It was restored in 2000. It's all back to original. Matter of fact, it was white. When they took all the chrome off and everything was turquoise. And the trim tag says it's 915A paint, which is
Okay.
Tosco metallic, turquoise metallic. And that's what color we made it. That's as close as I can.
I heard you telling somebody just before we got here about the amount of trouble you went through getting some body parts made on the back and the quarter panels, was it?
Yeah, the passenger side quarter panel, I got pictures of all of them. The guy that did the work was in Sarnia, Canada. He was a metal guy, and he actually had to make the lower quarter panel and patch the inner panel. And to get the wheel well right, he suggested to order some skirts. He says,
Yeah.
and I'll make the wheel well match the skirt. And that's what he did, and he did an awesome job. It was everything he did. The paint job is held up. This is 20. Everything here is 21 years old.
No. I when you were talking, I was looking for the ripples, looking for the little mistakes, and it doesn't look like he made any.
No, it was the guy was an awesome metal man, painter. All the work he did. He did several of the cars up in Sarnia. They had a club up there, and he had done quite a few of their cars there.
Yeah, not a lot of
And it's holding up amazing because I drive it everywhere. I drive it Frankie Move, Woodward, downriver, Telegraph Cruise. I try and go to all the cruises. I've been wanting to go to St. Ignace. I might make it next month. It's the 23rd, or this month's 23rd.
Oh, I was quite surprised. I had bought a place up in the Thumb area about 2 years ago. Ended up getting rid of it. But even up there, in farm country where there's not a huge population, you still get cruises all over the place. Just had a chat a couple people back about a guy that we were talking about where he took his cars to race them up in the Thumb area, right near Pindabog and Van Dyke.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that goes around that we don't talk about.
I went to a pumpkin run up at Houghton Lake one year, had a riot.
Well, I'll bet. I'll bet.
And they got the different tours that go from like the west side up to the bridge and back.
Yeah.
So there's always something going on. I went on a power tour last year down in Ohio from Norwalk. That's the Motor Trend Power Tour.
Yeah, a couple years ago I had the opportunity to do that and just couldn't find the time.
Yeah, well, I signed up for it for 20 and they canceled it. 21, they pushed it from June to August and they canceled it. And then, 20, and then they had it in June of 21 and they canceled it, and then they moved it to August. And instead of 7 days, they only went 5 days because they couldn't get, they had to change the venues, they had to, so.
And quite frankly, a lot of us getting older, I don't know if we can do 7 days anymore.
Well, it was, it was a night. It was fun. I had a good time. And my youngest son and I went, and we had a good time.
That's another nice thing is the number of younger people that are coming out and being brought into the whole idea of classics.
My younger son, he's mechanically inclined. He's in the cars, and my older son, he's a IT tech. He works on computer all day, every day. So,
well, you know what's a fun thing to do, and I'm not sure exactly where to find them, but there are a couple of places out there that will show you the difference. Like, I'm a skilled trades guy, okay? And it shows you how people that bother to get a trade of some kind can do just as well financially, just as well socially, everything. As a guy that goes to college for 4 years, gets saddled with a bunch of debt, or maybe 6 or 8 years, It's not always the smartest way to go.
I was a machinist all my life. I'm in the machine repair now, and they can't find people that are qualified. They can't find people that because it's work.
It is.
And a lot of these young kids these days physical work is, I don't know, it's hard to get them to do it. So
I just had 2 of my grandsons over at the house yesterday, and it's so funny, almost the same age. One's a college graduate. One of them has just gotten his skilled trades and his foot in the door. They're probably going to end up financially and everything in the end being at the same spot. But I find it so funny because neither one of them wants to get their hands dirty.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah, but when I went to junior high and high school, we had skilled trade classes.
Sure.
Electrical, drafting, automotive, machine shop, all that's gone now. So these schools, there's only a few that actually still have a couple of the trades that they still support. And now you have to go to a tech school or get in a program. That's like my youngest son. He went to Macomb Community College for automotive and stuff. So you actually got to go to college to get the skilled trades. With Focus Hope now, now a lot of companies are sinking a lot of money in it because they can't get good help. So.
Well, which is something they should have done a long time ago. Right. I mean, back even when I was in my 20s, which is a long time ago, people used to talk about how in Germany and other European countries, this trades were as respected as any other career field rather than looked down upon like they are in this country. Mm-hmm. And I happen to know myself personally that there were years when I was in the skilled trades, I made more than a lot of doctors. And it wasn't unusual.
No. When I was in junior high and high school, skilled trades is where the money was.
Oh yeah.
And that's the route I went, but now it's not the case no more.
But it could be. It just for some reason the guys in the skilled trades never pushed themselves. I remember getting out of the service, and I was kind of looking around for a place to live. I stumbled across an empty lot, so I started looking at the neighborhood. It was an empty corner lot, but the other 3 corners had a doctor, a lawyer, and a plumber, and you couldn't tell whose house was whose. So the money was always there. You just had to put your mind to it and realize it, get out there and have some fun.
Yeah, I worked aerospace for 16 years, and the money was good, but the hours were, I worked 10, 12 hours a day all my life, so that's another problem with the skilled trades is that they require them to work a lot of hours. But even like now, I'm mandatory to work 7 days, so I got to work 19 days to get a day off, to get a weekend off. So it's and for the young people, it'll be working.
No, they don't
7
want that.
days,
They want to. I joke about the fact they sit in grandma's basement playing the video, and that's what they're doing. So
Yep.
anyway, before we get off on a real bad tangent,
Yeah.
Anyway, I asked your name before, and I guess maybe I didn't say it loud enough because ever since COVID, people tell me I'm slurring my words, so I'm trying to be more careful. Anyway, we've been talking to.
I'm Bob Hendricks.
Bob Hendricks.
Yeah. Graduated in Roseville. Lived in Roseville and Warren all my life. So
Okay, thank you.
pretty much.
My name is Mary Thomas, and this is
Paul Bonventry. I'm from Clinton Township, and this is my 1957 Ford Fairlane 500 convertible. I've owned it since 2012. I bought it kind of like sight unseen from
Right.
down south,
right.
Arkansas. Send them the money, they send me the car.
Oh, okay.
I was in love with it just as the pictures, and I had to have it.
So what did they do? Drive it up here, or just had it delivered?
They delivered it by truck.
Okay.
Big semi pulled up to my driveway and dropped it off.
Oh, wow.
I've been in many parades, Memorial Day parade, St. Clair Shores.
Okay.
I was lucky enough to drive the Supreme Court Justice David Viviano
Okay.
and a couple of ball players from the '68 Tigers,
Okay.
Mickey Stanley and Mickey Lolich,
Right.
and a couple of ball players also from the Detroit Tigers. The name slips my mind, and a couple of the state senator, Michael McDonald, drove him in his campaign to be elected.
Well, looking at this car, this is a car that should be in a movie.
Yes, and I'd like to be the co-star with
Right, and the driver.
it. And the driver.
Beautiful. It's
Yeah,
just
take
beautiful.
me to Hollywood.
Yes,
I'll
and
go.
you can tell it's been well kept.
I'll even drive it to Hollywood. I'll tell you
Okay.
that.
So how often do you bring it out?
Days like today,
Right.
you know, when it's not expecting rain.
Rain, right.
To enjoy the convertible, I'm going to keep the top down all summer long.
Right, okay.
The only time it'll come up is if I'm caught in the rain.
Right.
But other than that, it's a sunny day car.
Well, it's a beautiful car.
Thank you.
And it was so nice talking with you to get a little history on your car.
I appreciate it, Mary. It's I love it. My family love it. At
Right.
times, I just threatened to sell it, and they made me promise that I wouldn't.
Right,
They want
right.
when I get to that big hot rod thing in the sky, they're gonna have to fight over it.
Oh,
So
okay, okay.
That'll be fun.
Right, like I said, a beautiful car.
Thank you.
Beautiful. And that's red is one of my favorite colors.
They call it Raven Black,
Okay.
and I forget the red, but it's a special color. Torch red, maybe. It might
Right.
be torch red.
Oh, okay. Ready? Hi. What is your name?
My name is Greg.
I was just admiring your beautiful truck, and you told me it belongs to Reliable Carrier.
Yes, Reliable Carriers.
Okay. What year is this?
The truck is a 1994, and it
Okay.
was built in 2015 into a show truck.
Okay.
Or 2005, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's a show truck now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a beautiful truck, nice color, everything. So, what type of shows do you have it in?
We do this. We do the Woodward Cruise.
Cruise,
Yeah, there's
okay.
a convoy next weekend up in Port Hope, or Harbor
Okay.
Beach. I'm sorry, off of Harbor
Okay, so
Beach.
you
it'll
just
be in a
go all
convoy.
over.
Yeah, it's still a working truck. It goes back and forth to Florida every year.
Oh,
And
okay.
we haul cars for Reliable. We haul cars for
Oh,
GM,
okay,
Ford,
okay.
Chrysler.
Okay, yeah, it's beautiful. I mean,
Thank
the
you.
color, the chrome,
Lots
everything.
of chrome, lots of hours.
Lots of
cleaning.
chrome.
Yes.
So, how often do you have it on the road?
A couple times in the summertime.
Okay.
Just we bring it out here. We take it out to Woodward.
What? Okay.
Yeah, this show in Woodward, Gratiot Cruise. I'll be out on Gratiot Cruise this year with
Oh,
it.
okay, okay. I know everybody stop and take a look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yep,
what a
everybody
truck.
looks at it.
Okay. Well, nice talking with you.
Nice talking with you, too.
And I'm going to sit here and admire your big truck.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Earl. Okay, could you give me your name, please?
Scott Holloway.
This is Scott, and could you tell me something about your Mustang?
Well, it's a 2008 Mustang GT California Special. It was kind of a limited production car. The California Special trim package. A few things done to it mechanically. I got cams and headers, and it's been professionally tuned, so it's not quite stock. And it's my hobby.
Okay.
That's what I like to do on sunny days like this.
Well, Lynn, you say that 53 means something. What's that mean?
Well, in Disney speak, this was Don Drysdale's number with the baseball player, and the Disney Imagineer was a big fan of his, so he put 53 on Herbie.
Okay.
Today, it's the M53 Cruise. So this is the official Van Dyke car of the cruise.
I understand she's not taking any credit for it, but she's kind of pushing the.
Of course I am.
Ladies, have you ever thought about putting this car back in the movie?
Oh, well, that's Disney's call. They own the rights. But there is rumor that they're talking about a new Herbie movie, probably for the network, Disney Plus, their Disney Plus network. They are talking about it. So there may be a 7th movie, because there's been 6 already.
Yep. I can't believe it. We have Lynn's husband here. I've heard so many stories about how he
The man behind.
how he rescued Herbie out of